earlier this week. We are expecting it to go back up. In fact, right now we're at 34.42 feet, it looks like right there. And the flood stage is going to be a little bit higher than that. All right, we are in that minor flood stage, as you can see there on the graphic. I'm going to tell you a lot more about what's happening here in North Texas and across much of Texas when we come back on AMHQ Weekend.
Great weekend destinations brought to you by Bush's Beans. What's your favorite flavor?
1 can of Bush's Beans. Well, this is a predicament. Home style sounds good, but country style not without its charms. Brown sugar hickory? Who says no to hickory? Not this guy. New sweet heat? Sure. There are no rules here. No rules on aisle 4.
Our new sweet heat is cooked according to our secret family recipe with a sweet and spicy chili sauce.
Did you get a can of Bush's Beans?
Yes, I did.
Bush's Beans. What's your favorite flavor?
Let's do this. We start here. Pick up a few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Boom. Spring. Let's do this. Toro days are here, and so are big savings. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with Canine Advantix 2. Its broad-spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. Canine Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
He says she's an undisciplined overwaterer. She claims he's a cruel underwaterer. With Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix, plants only get water when they need it. Fight ended or shifted. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 83. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
And welcome back, everyone. Great shot of New York City. Visibility, let's see, about 2 miles. Man, that's pretty. And it's still great. You know, it can rain fire and it's beautiful in New York City. Always a nice time there. I'll tell you something else. We have, it says 67 degrees. Some of you may have around 69 degrees, mainly a story of upper 60s. But look how high we're going all the way into the 80s with cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. How about that? All right, guys, we're going to switch gears and take our focus back to parts of the central and southern plains. We've been telling you this morning about severe weather that hit the Tulsa area overnight. And joining us on the phone right now is NBC producer Lee Williams, who is on the ground for us in Broken Arrow this morning. Lee, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Lee, can you share with America what kind of damage you're seeing firsthand?
I'm at the end of a cul-de-sac in Broken Arrow, on the eastern edge of Broken Arrow, and I see two middle-class homes, and neither has a roof. There's also structural damage to the homes and lots of junk around, but lots of roofs taken off in this area. I'm told there's some in the next block over, more homes like this. Behind the two homes, there's the utility crew with one of the baskets, aerial baskets, way up one of those high-tension power lines. And they're trying to restore power to this area. There are about 20,000 people without power in the region, and damage is pretty widespread, but at the same time, it's isolated in pockets. I haven't seen any real massive area of destruction.
Now, Lee, I know you said there are power crews that are out and about. Any emergency rescue crews that happen to be on the scene?
Not at the scene I'm looking at. There could be somewhere. Now, this happened last night about midnight, 11:30, so probably if anyone was injured, they've been transported since then. But there's nothing as far as emergency personnel in the cul-de-sac that I'm looking at this moment.
Now, Lee, I know you know this. We all do. The Central Plains have been just a punching bag in terms of rough weather, but have you had any reaction this morning? What are the locals saying about last night's storms?
Well, I talked to one of these ladies who has lost her roof and a large section of her house, and she just said, oh God, make this thing go away, make this thing go away. And she and her husband wrote out some very scary moments and lived to tell about it.
Terrifying. NBC producer Lee Williams on the phone. Lee, thanks so much for your contribution this morning. You guys be safe. I know you're out there doing the best you can to share the story with the rest of America. Again, thank you. All right, guys, we're going to shift gears a bit. I think guys, are we sending it back to Kate? Okay, let's send it back to Kate in Dallas. Kate, I know you've had a kaleidoscope of issues this morning, from the lightning, the thunder, the heavy rain. Flooding's been a huge issue for you too, obviously.
Yeah, and it's something that is a little bit day after day after day of it, here in Texas. So a lot of people are just feeling like it's a copy and paste forecast. Why is this setting up? Why are we so drenched? And it's just the pattern that has emerged with these lows scooting across the southern half of the U.S., drenching us in moisture across this area. Just 5 years ago, Texas was wondering if they would get a drop of rain, right? I mean, we had an incredibly significant drought. This is a buster, actually, this last several days of rain. I'm on the Trinity River. That's where I am right now in Dallas. So we've got the beautiful Texas flag up here. We've got Reunion Tower behind me. The Trinity River, though, swollen over its banks. Not as tremendous. We're not at a moderate flood stage, but we are in a minor flood stage with it at over 30 feet. And that really started to go up again this morning after subsiding a little bit earlier this week. Look at some of this video. This is what we're dealing with, contending with across the great state. From Houston to Dallas, we've had flooding where people have had to be rescued from the tops of their cars, from the roofs of their homes, and we're hearing about that going on right now. We're trying to get some pictures for you, find a little bit of a bird's eye view for you. Just south of here in Johnson County, that's where we are hearing. We've spoken to the emergency managers there, and they say that there are several ongoing swiftwater rescues as we speak. Why is this all happening? Well, the ground is completely saturated. I mean, completely. You can see behind me the concrete saturated, but I'm looking at the mud. I'm looking at everything. It is just nothing but that mud. I mean, there's nowhere for that water to go. Take a look at how much rain you've seen here lately across the state of Texas, because it has been a tremendous amount. Look at this. Look at these totals. I mean, you can see the flood concerns there, obviously. Driving, that's a big problem. If you look at the maps, though, look at this. Since May 1st, you've got 9 inches of rain in Wichita Falls. You've had over 4.5 in Dallas. This is just in 2 weeks, but this does not include today. 6 inches has fallen just south of the Metroplex. And then if you look north of the Red River on into Oklahoma, we've seen spots and seen over a foot of rain. Over a foot of rain since May 1st. So obviously we have a lot of rain going on. The drought situation, though, is improving because of this. So there is a silver lining. In fact, it's vastly improving. We're actually ending a 5-year drought, if you can believe it, here in Texas. So it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde situation. You love to see the water. We do wish we could share a little bit with California at this point. I'm going to be right back with that silver lining and tell you what you can expect in the days to come if this faucet will ever turn off when we come back on AMHQ Week.
Now at Boston Market, new slow braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
6 smoky hours, 1 tasty dish. Slow braised pulled pork, now at Boston Market.
My feet felt so heavy at the end of the day.
They used to get really tired.
Until I started gelling.
I got Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
When they're in my shoes, my feet and legs feel less tired.
It's like walking on a wave.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
I'm a believer.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am dealer and test drive the Spyder F3 today.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Time to sweat, boys. Big time.
Let's get this thing right. This is my one shot.
I have made fire!
Fat Guys in the Woods. The new season starts June 7th, only on the Weather Channel.
All these pictures of family, I'm always hiding behind my kids. I was so frustrated because I really tried to lose weight after my second daughter was born. So I realized I gotta do something. Something had to change.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus Kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back, guaranteed.
But you can't take care of your family until you take care of yourself. I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem. My family loves it. I'm a role model for my girls. I have more energy now. I'm Melissa Joan Hart and I lost 40 pounds on Nutrisystem. It's time to take care of you.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism, free. And 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes to crush those cravings, free.
Call Nutrisystem. Lose the weight and start feeling great.
Call 888-575-SIZE right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 83. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The great state of Texas, my home state, my beloved state. begging for mercy this week. I mean, we're here in Dallas where you were under a flash flood warning. The rain has not stopped coming down, and it's not helping with those tornado relief efforts. Like you saw in Van this last week, we did have that giant tornado that ripped through the town, destroying 30% of it. You know, killing multiple people, killing 2 people there. It's obviously a horrific scene, and it doesn't help that whenever you're trying to recover some of your belongings from those homes, you're swamped in rain on top of that. It wasn't just in Van that we saw a tornado this week. We saw one in Cisco as well. I think we have some footage of that one. You know, the good news is that I heard from Ron Blom, he's our producer out here this morning. He was on the scene in Van, and he said that a lot of the church groups that were out there said, hey, you know, you think we have a lot of us out here now? Just wait, because we're going to see even more come out this Sunday. And that's going to be where we see, you know, the cleanup effort really take place, and helping hands and the community coming together. So that's what is going to be happening today, you know, across the state. But again, it's very difficult to do whenever you have just rains that will not let up like this, and the flood that continues. We're still hearing of high water rescues, but the severe threat, it's not over for much of the country. We've got to get right back to the studio. We do have Dr. Greg Postel and we have Reynolds back there for us. You know, the tornado threat, it's ongoing. It is not exactly letting up today. It's like we've been pushing down on the gas, you guys, and just haven't let up across the country.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, here we are easing towards the end of the weekend, but I mean, we got another big day to deal with. A lot of rough stuff out there.
Yeah, we do. Fortunately, right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings across the middle of the country. Let's go to the radar. But we are dealing with a lot of flash flood warnings all up and down this zone from Missouri southward through parts of Texas, all the way down way that far south, Reynolds. Let's look at some of these radar returns coming in just to the east of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And there's a lot of rain, a lot of lightning. That is the big story. It is not the severe, technically called severe weather in terms of high winds and hail. This is a rain story now across parts of Texas, which Kate has been covering fantastically all morning. Look at some of these accumulations in just the last 6 hours across this part of the state, where they've had a ton of rain over the last couple of weeks. They don't need any more. This is just adding misery to whatever is already flooded areas. So 5.7 inches in the last 6 hours by radar estimates. That has been confirmed by some ground truth here in that area just south of Dallas, and 1 to 2 up and down the board up through Missouri. Later on today, we're going to see more severe weather develop out here across this part of the country, because an upper level swirly is moving that way, and it's going to bring some greater instability to this region. And we will see, I think, supercells form across parts of southern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, maybe even extending as far south as Chicago. We got to watch out in here. Now, the models aren't showing like a ton of reds and yellows in here, because we don't have the kind of instability here today that we did yesterday in Oklahoma with those huge tornadoes. But it doesn't mean we won't have any tornadoes, because we have strong winds aloft here in place that will help support those thunderstorms and help them rotate. So here's the severe weather outlook today that extends from the western Great Lakes all the way down through parts of Oklahoma. So let's look at those tornadoes yesterday, shall we?
By all means.
We have some video from this. This is in the southwestern part of Oklahoma yesterday afternoon. And Reynolds, you can see that the tornado is actually fairly broad feature right in here. Not like that, but inside of that, there are little rotations that are rotating around the bigger rotation, kind of moving around, and you can see occasionally one of those show up. And this is a very powerful circulation that we saw on the Doppler radar with wind velocities over 130 miles per hour in one direction, and right next to that, 130 miles per hour in the other direction. So this thing was spinning like crazy. How about like that?
The great thing, early reports, no significant damage, injuries, fatalities from that. That's the good news. But my gosh, what a force to be reckoned with. Look at that thing.
Oh, this is a classic hook echo.
Unreal.
Right in here with the tornado right about there. And if you look inside of this storm, in the storm relative velocities, an exceptionally tight couplet right there, again, with those fierce winds that way and that way. Part of the reason why it got those very strong values of rotation and produced such big tornadoes, because we had very high Cape values here in the high end, Reynolds, the high end right over here.
Absolutely. Well, we got to talk about what exactly high means, medium means, low means coming up.
Well, let's do that. High is in the 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram range. That's very high. How about that? Joules per kilogram.
How about that? Good deal. All right, folks, we'll show you more coming up.
Flour pressed soap, homemade hot sauce, artisanal pickles, whatever those are. Well, we're glad handcrafted is finally cool. Because at Firestone Complete Auto Care, we've been handcrafting since 1926. Robots might build cars, but it takes human hands to keep them running right. And that's a guarantee, backed by our fixed right promise. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Firestone Complete Auto Care. Maintenance, repairs, tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with Canine Advantix 2. Its broad-spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. Canine Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait. Zantac, no pill relieves heartburn faster.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
It starts with a subtle wave, then builds into soft fingers, lifting sails and spirits. Nothing makes us feel more alive than a summer breeze, drifting with us on the water, chasing us through the trees, and playing along the whole day. In the Great Lakes Bay region, the summer breeze is blowing. Where it's headed is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Citi Double Cash Card. It's a cashback win-win. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn on purchases, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 83. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Fat Guys in the Woods, new season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Coming sideways. Oh my God, these cows are sitting right here.
Tornado in the background and cows in the foreground, and they aren't moving. That is a massive tornado that was spotted near Elmer, Oklahoma just yesterday. National Weather Service tells us this appears to be a long-track tornado. Now, its path was about 10 miles. Crews are going to be out surveying the damage later on today. What a morning it's been, folks. Welcome back to AMHQ Weekend. I'm here in the studio. We're lucky enough to have Dr. Greg Postel tracking those active storms for right now and also later on today. And Kate has been in Dallas all morning, where, Kate, you dealt with the rain and quite a bit of lightning, too.
A lot of lightning. In fact, Reynolds, just a couple minutes ago, whenever we were talking to you guys, we did have a lightning strike about 2.5 miles from here, which is a little too close for comfort, I have to admit. So I have to tell you, I'm going to be monitoring that situation a little more closely, just to say, hey, you know what? Like there's lightning in the area. It has subsided greatly. I just want to let you guys know that we're keeping an eye on that. Okay, so behind me, we've got Dallas, right? Hard to see here, but that is the skyline under these low clouds. A lot of rain, a lot of flooding. This is an urgent situation across much of the Metroplex, but it's not just here that we've seen flooding. Take a look at this video from Garden City, Kansas. This is where we also saw some flooding yesterday. Take a look at this. You can see how hard the rain is coming down there on the right-hand side of your screen, that nice rain shaft, and then it just completely inundates the road. You can't see anything. There's no way you can drive in this. I have to tell you, Reynolds, I was driving earlier this morning, and it was a white knuckle kind of a drive, just going even a few miles in here around the Metroplex as that rain was coming down. And Reynolds, I know that you've heard me talk about my Nina, my grandmother.
Absolutely.
She was asking me a couple months ago, she said, when is it going to rain? Just give us a little bit of rain. Well, someone was listening, I would say, to Nina.
Yeah, I would say so. Nina hopefully needs to hope for some dry times, because, Kate, you're absolutely right. What Nina wants, Nina gets, and the rain has been coming down.
Yes,
Too much
does.
of it, though. Too much of it for the time being. Yeah, Kate's absolutely right. I mean, it's been rough there. You in Dallas know it very well. You in, well, parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley are going to know it very soon, because all the stuff you have in Texas and across Missouri is all going to be driving east. Madison, Wisconsin, Chicago, Minneapolis, Little Rock, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, and, of course, back into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You've got the rough things that are happening now or soon will be. In Minnesota and Wisconsin, the Torcon, your tornado condition index within 50 miles, a 5 there. It is a 4 in eastern Missouri. And I'll tell you, that trouble is going to keep spreading its way from west to east. Minneapolis, your time frame where you can expect the roughest stuff from 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. Up next, Chicago, Windy City. Anywhere from noon till 6 p.m. and then from St. Louis, 1 p.m. through 7 p.m., which is interesting, Dr. Greg Postel, because for St. Louis, you already have that one installment of rain, but it looks like more may be effective later on into the day. Back to you, Dr. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Reynolds. And especially northward of there, I think, across parts of the western Great Lakes, we have a shot at severe weather later on today. Let's look at the satellite pictures, and you can see a pretty potent swirly moving across the upper Midwest right now, actually the Great Plains. It's over Nebraska. That's probably where the center of the vorticity maxima is, but still, that's just fancy talk for a lot of upper level energy coming that way toward this area. And it's still in the early morning hours here. The skies are cloudy. The air is relatively cool. But I think that will change enough later on this afternoon. I'm seeing signs that what's called a dry slot is coming into this area. So aloft, the air is drying out. There's still some low clouds across that region, but drier air is coming that way, and that should allow the sun to come out at least a little bit across this part of the region and destabilize the atmosphere later to produce some significant and severe weather. Let's have a look at the upper level wind flow. The contours here, the blue shades, are the fastest winds upstairs at the jet stream level, around 30,000 feet. And there's going to be a core of them about like that. And underneath there, the winds are strong as well, all the way down close to the ground, where the winds out of the aloft areas are in that direction, but the ground, they're out of that direction. So there's a pretty substantial turning and increase in wind speed with height across this region. And underneath that jet stream, here are the CAPE values, convective available potential energy. That's an acronym for the strength of the instability, or essentially the strength of the updrafts that can be had by the thunderstorms that form. And it's in the medium levels. Medium levels for technical wonks, it's about 1 to 2,000 joules per kilogram available for big storms out that way, and timing it out. The stuff doesn't kick in till later when the dry slot comes in, but say early afternoon in southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, northern Illinois, watch out for supercells across the region. Kate, back to you.
So we have the possibility of more storms today, Dr. Postel. I mean, it's ongoing. Obviously raining here in Dallas, where I'm located. But yesterday was a rough day for a lot of the country, and especially a lot of the plains, where we saw some pretty strong storms. We saw some tornado footage. Let's go to the very latest that we saw yesterday from John Lang. Yang.
Another tense night across Tornado Alley. A rare look at a tornado forming southwest of Oklahoma City.
Tornado! Oh my God! Less than a quarter mile away.
With debris flying through the air.
Oh my God! These cows are sitting right here.
And livestock seemingly in the line of fire. Images of the ominous skies also blanketing social media. This lightning over Mustang, Oklahoma, posted on Facebook, with storms also forcing the Major League Soccer game in Kansas City to be postponed. And in Texas, remarkable pictures of hail covering roads and paralyzing traffic on Saturday, with heavy rains and flooding as well. It all comes on the heels of relentless storms and tornadoes in recent weeks.
Yeah, it's across the road. It's on the other side now.
As this morning, millions of residents again brace for more severe weather.
Okay, so obviously yesterday was incredibly dangerous. Reynolds, we're checking again today on what could be happening. And I got to tell you, look at this behind me. This is the Trinity River in Dallas. It is swollen. You know, it is over its flood stage. We're not really seeing a lot of home inundation from the Trinity River, but the rain that has been coming down, that is our #1 problem, because we are trying to dry things back out, or at least get a little bit less rainfall from what we saw this last week and all those swift water rescues. Well, they're going on again this morning because the rain is coming down hard. It's been coming down for a long time. Reynolds, unfortunately, it's not letting up just yet.
Okay, you know, the frustration is, it's understandable. It's palatable. And it's difficult to think about if your home happens to be flooded, but there is actually an upside to all the rainfall, because coming up next on AMHQ Weekend, those heavy downpours taking a tremendous bite out of that drought, that awful drought that has been gripping the Lone Star State for years and years. We're going to talk about the good stuff coming up, plus the heavy rain and humid air and warm temperatures are adding up to prime time for bugs. That's right, insects. And an expert's going to tell us how to avoid being snack food for those annoying pests that invade our backyards. Here's a look at radar.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with K9 Advantix 2. Its broad-spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. K9 Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
He says she's an undisciplined overwaterer. She claims he's a cruel underwaterer. With Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix, plants only get water when they need it. Fight ended or shifted. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
It's more than a network and the cloud. It's reliable uptime and multi-layered security. It's how you stay connected to each other and to your customers. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions, including an industry-leading broadband network and cloud and hosting services, all with dedicated, responsive support. With CenturyLink as your trusted technology partner, you're free to focus on growing your business. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Let's do this. We start here. Pick up a few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Boom. Spring. Let's do this. Toro days are here, and so are big savings. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Wow, sweet new Subaru, huh, Mitch? Yep. You're selling the Mitch-mobile? Man, we had a lot of good times in this baby. What's your dad want for it? Like 150 grand. 200 if they want that tape deck. You're not gonna tell your dad about the time my hamster had babies in the back seat, are you? That's just normal wear and tear, dude.
Subaru has the highest resale value of any brand, according to Kelley Blue Book. And Mitch. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
I am never getting married. We're never having kids. We are never moving to the suburbs. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
Please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 83. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You know, I think that the state of Texas must be a Gemini, because certainly we've seen two different sides, two different faces to this state here lately when it comes to the weather. Take a look at what we have over downtown Dallas right now. That's the view that you're looking at from above. This is the view behind me as I'm here in the DFW Metroplex. I have to tell you, the rain has started coming down overnight, has not stopped. In fact, it's inundated some places with over 6 inches of rain, but it's hard to imagine that we would have seen any of this rainfall just a few months ago. Take a look at how had to have cattle cut back. You know, it wasn't being supported by the land anymore. Crops were severely hurt. We had water levels and towns that were completely desperate for any water whatsoever. And now take what's happening right now. It's so much rain, so much water that is putting people's lives in danger on the other end of the spectrum. Look at what has changed just since January 1st. Severe drought was at 45% across the state. One of those places, for example, Wichita Falls, Texas. And then fast forward over what we've seen over the last couple months here and getting into May. I mean, we saw flooding in Wichita Falls just a couple days ago. Flooding, people's homes inundated with water. The severe drought is now only at 8% across the state of Texas. We're closing out a 5-year drought. This is the silver lining to all this rain. I know that this is tough, and especially if your home or your car has been destroyed by all this rain, it's very difficult to see the silver lining there, but it has been a remarkable change in our soil moisture, and it's going to mean positive things in the future for the state of Texas, for crops, for cattle, for all that, Reynolds.
My goodness. Well, we go from the damn times, and we're going to switch gears and talk about the creepy crawlies, Kate. Spring is here, and summer is just right around the bend. And as storms fire up, the humidity, well, it is beginning to settle in, and so are those pesky bugs. Now, it looks like those bugs are not going to go away. And joining us live via Skype is Missy Henriksen, and she's with the National Pest Management Association. She's in Fairfax, Virginia. Thanks so much for joining us. Down here, we got to tell you, Missy, already they're beginning to bite us, as well as parts of the Northeast. What are we seeing the most of when it comes to insects right now?
Well, there's a lot of good that comes with spring, but unfortunately the bad and the ugly are represented by insects. Lots and lots of bugs. Most especially we're seeing ticks, mosquitoes, ants, and termites.
What's to blame? Is weather playing a big role in these bugs being so prominent?
Yeah, weather has a lot to do with what we see with insect populations. You know, the winter lasted a long time, spring was delayed, and so was the emergence of a lot of the insect populations. So now they're coming out with abundance. It's a real numbers game. Also, as that snow finally started to melt, particularly up in the Northeast, provided perfect harborage spots for termites, a lot of breeding grounds for mosquitoes. It's important people take protection at this time of year.
Okay, let's talk about that for just a second, because we've got so many people that tune in, and we all love the great outdoors. We want to get outside, but when we go outside with our friends, our family, our kids, it also means we're exposing ourselves to some of these bugs. What should we do to combat these pests?
Most important thing is personal protection, and that really begins with a good and effective insect repellent. Lots of things people can be doing around their yards at this time of year for spring pest proofing. Eliminating sources of standing water, making sure those gutters and downspouts are working appropriately, trimming the shrubberies and the long grass. Also, contact a professional. They can provide preventative treatments around your yard, which can really help protect your family from a lot of those diseases that are associated with insects, particularly with ticks and mosquitoes at this time of year.
Missy Henriksen, thank you so much for your time this morning. You caught us up. Now we know all the what all the buzz is about. Thanks so much. Enjoy your Sunday. All right, folks. Well, after devastating tornadoes rip through parts of the plains, we got another round of severe weather that's ramping up as we speak. Here's a look at some of the Torcon values. We got them for you right there on the screen. This is Minneapolis. Chance of tornadoes. Some large hail. You can't rule out the damaging winds too. 5 out of 10 on the tornado condition index. Let's see. Other places that it could be affected. Chicago could be affected farther south in places like St. Louis. Folks, you got to be prepared for today. Go ahead and have that safety plan put in your mind. That's, again, we're going to tell you more about who's going to be expected in the rough stuff later on. In fact, Dr. Greg Postel is going to be breaking it down and timing it out hour by hour. That is coming up in just a few moments. Right now, you're seeing more of these scenes. The rain coming down across parts of the central and southern plains. It is driving east, Wisconsin. Get ready for it. Same deal for many of you in Missouri. Moving up into Illinois. Right now from Hagerstown, Maryland, you got some scattered showers north out by places like, yes, Antietam. Be ready for the raindrops.
There's nothing more romantic than a spontaneous moment, so why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
One of the foot's favorite rituals happens at the water's edge. Yeah, they must look their best. Smooth, beautiful skin is an advantage. The others can only hide in shame. Introducing the new Dr. Scholl's DreamWalk Express Pedi.
Constant Contact makes it easier than ever to connect with customers using all the best email marketing tools, like online promotions and email newsletters, so you can help your small business do more business. Try email marketing free at ConstantContact.com.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
and it just hit us,
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over-the-counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
Calm.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 83. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You know, I have to tell you, out here in Dallas, Texas, it's amazing that you can be surrounded by rainfall coming down constantly, and yet you're still getting bit by mosquitoes. But that is a real problem that we're seeing across the state and anywhere that we've seen the flooding ongoing, because any stagnant water is breeding mosquitoes a little bit on the early side. So that's something that we're concerned about. But, you know, that's on the mild side of our concerns. On the big side of it is this ongoing flood threat, the ongoing swift water rescues we have going on just south of the Metroplex. But these flash flood warnings extend all the way up to into Missouri. Let's go back to the studio, Reynolds and Dr. Postel, because later today it's not just the threat of flooding, it's the threat of some winds as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we've been here all morning, Kate, like you have. We've been busy as bees. We're in the lab. It's been a hive of activity. And what we're seeing now, take your pick around the plains, all the way down to South Texas. We've got rough stuff.
All the way from, as Kate was saying, southern Missouri down through parts of Arkansas and into Texas. All those little green polygons. Look, there's one way back here in Kansas. There's a flash flood warning out there. But I can't look at all of them, but let me just give you a sense that a lot of times flash flood warnings, well, most of the time, they show up behind the heavy rain. Here's the heaviest of all the rain, and the flash flood warning is out here in Arkansas in this particular case for Logan, Pope, and Yell counties until 8:30 a.m. All the heavy rain has fallen. Now it's a steady, light to moderate rain right back in here, and that is just funneling all the water.
So it's collecting, it's running off, so to speak. Okay,
exactly.
Goodness.
And then farther south across Texas, a ton of rain has already fallen in the last 6 hours. In some places, almost 6 inches near Dallas and a couple of inches farther to the southwest. But that is a long, narrow swath of occasionally heavy rain accumulation there, up to 6 inches. And again, that's just 6 hours, Reynolds.
That is staggering. And more in store for the central or southern plains later on today? I know upper Midwest, but...
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, we'll have some severe weather down that way along a front that's moving through. But I think the biggest chance of the severe weather, including tornadoes, is in parts of the upper Midwest and western Great Lakes. You can see that little swirly moving around right in here. Look at this, Reynolds. There's a pretty tight curlicue circulating way. It's called propagating its way that way. And I think we're going to see later on today the introduction and the production of some big weather, in part because looking at the water vapor imagery showing you water vapor at middle and high altitudes up generally above about 15,000 feet. There's some drier pockets coming in here. That's going to clear out the skies and increase the instability across that part of the country with strong winds aloft here. Those shades of blue, those are the strongest parts of the jet stream moving across the region, going to help support severe weather and lift the atmosphere in an atmosphere that is going to have, in terms of Cape, medium values of Cape, Reynolds. So somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 joules per kilogram across that region, which is supportive of severe weather today. So we'll see that.
All right, folks, and we will see you on the other side of this commercial break. You're watching AMHQ Weekend. Hey, don't touch the dial.
Before Mars, before the moon, we did the impossible again and again. Live the future of space travel at Exploration Space, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Joseph A. Bank presents the Summer Stock-Up Sale. Suits starting at $149. Executive shirts and ties, Stays Cool sportswear, and Traveler sports shirts and polos, 3 for $99. Sale ends Monday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
Are you still getting heartburn flare-ups? Time for a new routine. Try Nexium 24 Hour, the latest choice for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am dealer and test drive the Spyder F3 today.
We all want a stylish living room, but what if you don't have a team of designers? Well, you can still have all the style and comfort you want with the surprisingly affordable Urban Attitudes collection from La-Z-Boy. The dress stays. Urban Attitudes from La-Z-Boy. Live life comfortably.
Still paying too much for home phone service? Do the math. Magic Jack costs only $35 a year for unlimited local and long distance calling to the U.S. and Canada. And with the mobile app, get unlimited text messaging.
Unlimited texting for iOS only.
I've always been into biking, but I had kids, a job, other priorities. When I bought a house at Del Webb, I joined this group and started going on long rides a few times a week. I became obsessed with getting faster. I started shaving minutes off my time, and now seconds. Our trainer here has really helped me push through to the next level. What's it really like to own a home in a Del Webb community?
Just ask real homeowners at the community that interests you. Go to delwebb.com to find yours today.
Before Orion, before Atlantis, we looked to the stars and dared to dream. Stand in awe under Saturn V, the most powerful rocket ever flown. One of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
The American Thoroughbred is a horse that is born to run. Moments after they're born, they stand. Within an hour, they can run, and these horses are serving their purpose. Look at this. The Preakness Stakes just yesterday turned out to be a rainy, muddy mess. That was not a problem for Kentucky Derby winner American Pharoah. The horse won the second leg of the Triple Crown, 1 3/4 mile. Baltimore will see a few more showers throughout the day, but a warm-up is on the way. So let's dig right into the forecast and show you what they had to deal with. Yesterday, of course, they had the rain. Today, some scattered showers, some Hagerstown out toward Sharpsburg, Antietam National Military Park. You got the raindrops. Parkersburg at high elevation, the rain is coming down. Pittsburgh, Iron City, much of the rain driving off towards the east. We make our way to Rochester, cloudy skies at 63, Buffalo 66. And take a look at the shot that we have. This was taken in New York, the fog worsening. This is Buffalo, by the way, the Buffalo Bison's minor league team. They did pound Toledo 16-2 in the game, but my gosh, good luck seeing the long ball going out over the outfield. Man, tough to see there. All right, well, we are going to be dealing with in Buffalo improved conditions. You have the sun, the clouds, and then clearing skies at 69 degrees, becoming clear, but also very warm, very summer-like weekend. Man, Boston, remember when you had feet of snow? Long gone now. You got 61 degrees. And as we wrap it up, let me tell you, it should be a warm day today, and we are going to see those scattered showers moving through, but enjoy this summer-like weather. All right, let's send it back to Kate. She is in Dallas with more. Kate?
Yeah, Reynolds, you know, Dallas-Fort Worth, my hometown, you know, this is, I'm from Grapevine, just down the street, born and raised. I got to tell you that it has just been a soaker. It has been such a 180 in the weather here. We were in this 5-year drought, you know, cutting back cattle, making all these significant changes. And now here we are with far too much water, leading to swift water rescues and safety situations where we've got water coming up into homes and a lot of places where water hasn't been in a really long time starting to fill in. So, Reynolds, I'm going to continue to bring you the very latest as we continue on Weekend Recharge. But, man, missed you guys there in the studio this morning. Wish you were out here.
Back at you, my dear. Get home safely. And, folks, Dallas, be ready for the heavy rain. It's going to continue. Folks, keep watching. You're at the right place, the Weather Channel.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
One of the foot's favorite rituals happens at the water's edge. Yeah, they must look their best. Smooth, beautiful skin is an advantage. The others can only hide it in shame. Introducing the new Dr. Scholl's DreamWalk Express Pedi.
It's your thing! No matter how you want to lose weight, you can do it fast with delicious, nutritious Slim Fast. Shake it off, blend it off, drink it off. Just take it off and keep it off. However you want to lose the weight, rich, protein-packed Slim Fast controls your hunger up to 4 hours. Clinically proven to work and work fast. It's your thing! See results in just 1 week. Losing weight has never been easier. With Slim Fast, it's your thing.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 83. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sideways. Oh my God, these cows are sitting right here.
An absolutely stunning sight in the Oklahoma countryside. A multi-vortex tornado dangerously close to some cattle who continued to graze blissfully unaware. Well, today the threat for tornadoes and severe weather shifts eastward and northward. Talking about from Chicago to Dallas, all in the danger zone.
Just looking at it like, what's that? All right, welcome back to Weekend Recharge. I'm meteorologist Kate Parker. I'm in Dallas, Texas. You were just looking at a tornado that happened yesterday in Oklahoma. Today, we could see more severe weather, but in Texas, it's the flood story. Someone turned on the faucet and forgot to turn it back off. I'm going to break down exactly what's happening here in this great state of Texas in just a second. Maria.
All right, Kate, we'll talk to you in a few. And now ahead of that rain, all the storms, it feels like summer records are in jeopardy from the northeast to the southeast with sizzling highs near or above 90. But what goes up must come down right here, right now on Weekend Recharge. There is no rest for the storm weary. Thank you so much for joining us for Weekend Recharge. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Well, the central U.S. is facing multiple threats from a new round of strong and severe thunderstorms today, and flooding a huge issue in Dallas this morning. And the threat will be ongoing as we head into this coming new week. But tornadoes, another concern. In fact, 29 reports of tornadoes in 9 states in the middle part of the country yesterday. Now, this one, perhaps the largest, but not necessarily the strongest we've seen so far this weekend. It hit the ground near Elmer, Oklahoma, tracking some 19 miles to the Tipton area. It briefly crossed the Red River and made it into northern Texas. The twister mostly ripped up prairie, not town, so the good news is no injuries were reported. And strong thunderstorms also crashed a prom near Oklahoma City last night. Take a look at this. Yeah, students at Tecumseh High School were forced off the dance floor when a tornado warning was issued. You can see them huddling together in the school's hallways. Now, Oklahoma City at risk for more thunderstorms as we head through this Sunday as well. Maria has more on that.
That's right. We have Oklahoma City still in that threat area, and we're including a lot more territory. So we're all the way now up to Minneapolis, Madison, Chicago, St. Louis, down to Little Rock under that red threat. That means the possibility of severe storms. We've seen the large hail, the gusty winds, the torrential rainfall, but we can't rule out tornadoes today either. But notice the thunderstorm threat stretches all the way to the East Coast. As far as tornadoes go, we look at the TORCON, the Tornadoes Conditions Index. What are the conditions looking like for the possibility of tornadoes? A 5 out of 10 in Minneapolis, a 5 for Chicago and St. Louis, a 4 out of 10 again this afternoon and evening. That means a 4 in 10 chance within a 50-mile radius of that point of seeing a tornado today. What we've got going on, of course, the ingredients kind of recharging in the atmosphere. Again, you have a front, and that's where we're finding not just lighting up like a Christmas tree, but you've got a ton of rain, and that stretches all the way from Arkansas clear on down to Texas as we've been tracking and following that flooding rain all morning.
Yeah, well, that's again what's happening today, but also let's kind of take a step back and take a look at what happened last night. In fact, we've been showing you this morning about all that severe weather that hit the Tulsa area overnight.
And joining us on the phone is NBC producer Lee Williams, who is on the ground in the town of Broken Arrow for us this morning. Lee, good morning. We're glad you're okay. We're starting to see these photos. Just how widespread is the damage that you can see?
The main thing I can see right now, I'm at the cul-de-sac, and there are 2 homes, and neither has a roof. They're completely off, and pretty much 90% of the contents inside are either in terrible shape or destroyed. There's lumber scattered all over the place. There are electric crews right behind the houses trying to restore power to this area. There are about 21,000 people without power in this region, but the roofs came off here. And I know just over on the next block, there's another roof off, and there are pockets. It's not like there's a 2-block area wiped out, but there are a couple of homes on this block and a couple of homes on this block. And that's as far as I've gotten so far. I'm still out exploring this neighborhood.
Now, what are people saying? As I know the storms came through later in the evening, even after dark as well. Were they aware the storms were headed their way?
They certainly were. We had great weather warnings from all our TV stations here, and they tracked it straight by straight, and it just came right through the bottom of our metro area. And they were saying, boy, this looks like a tornado, but it hadn't been called yet on the west side of Tulsa. And then as it got to the east side of Tulsa and Broken Arrow, where I am, they said, oh, that looks like a tornado. And within a second, the weather had been called as a tornado. And lots of people here were already in the tornado. I just talked to a man who said the rain was going one direction at the front of his house and another direction at the back of his house.
And Lee, I know you were just saying you're getting out, getting a look at the neighborhood for the first time. Have you been able to talk to residents in the neighborhood, anyone who had their home damaged?
Definitely. I've talked to 2 or 3 people. A lady who had her roof taken off. The inside of her house is a disaster. There's just soaked everything everywhere and thrown around. They were able to salvage a TV set, but that's about all that I saw. She said she had a family Bible that her mother wrote in personally, and that's just soaked all the way through, and she's trying to save whatever she can with no roof.
All right, Lee Williams, NBC News producer, thanks for joining us this morning. Let's take a closer look at the risk for severe, not only for today, but also as we head throughout the rest of the weekend here as we head to your Sunday. And again, Maria showed you this line of thunderstorms. Look at all the lightning with this blasting eastward as you head through the Sunday morning. So if you are heading to Sunday service, you know, when you have lightning in the area like this, you have across much of Texas, it's dangerous to take a bath or a shower, even wash dishes. It's dangerous to do, all ways to have that charge come in your house, and flooding because of ongoing heavy rain. Again, from drought to flood in a matter of just a couple of days here. Still have Blanco, Hayes, and Travis County, including you in Austin, under a flash flood warning, meaning flooding is occurring in some of those areas. Dallas, we're still seeing that rain finally push out of Fort Worth, but it's still pushing on into eastern Texas, and it's a slow move.